Scott Spears back with you with another edition of the Spears Report, a long-awaited edition here. We are going to talk about Year 1, 2012 of the Lincoln Park Family Aquatic Center. I've got the numbers and all the information coming at you in just one moment. We're also going to talk, sadly, about the closing of Marion Catholic High School after so many years. Got a few things to say about that. And then we're going to finish up with a kind of interesting story about our friend Puxatony Phil, our groundhog pal, counterpart to our Buckeye Chuck, and something going on with him. Is death in the future? I don't know. We're going to get to that in the balance of time here, but I want to get to the Lincoln Park Family Aquatic Center so you know what I know and I know what you know, and we can go from there. I hold in my hand, and I'm going to have to look down through a lot of this because I've got the numbers and I do not want to misrepresent them in any way. I have the Budget Performance Report, Lincoln Park Family Aquatic Center, date range January 1st, 2012 through December 31st, 2012. Here we go. Total revenues for the Lincoln Park Family Aquatic Center in 2012 on the operations side, not the construction side, were $4,353,850.67. Some numbers of note that you may be interested in: membership fees for the first year, $58,537.95. Daily admissions, $129,514, bringing that grand total. On the expense side in Year 1 for the Lincoln Park Family Aquatic Center, we have $4,106,060.79. For those of you keeping track, here's what we have. We have in Year 1 total revenue totals $4,353,850.67. Expense totals $4,106,060.79, bringing the grand total of total revenue on the operations side of the Lincoln Park Family Aquatic Center in its first year, 2012, to $247,789.88. Now, here's the story on that people have been talking about. The story is as follows. The construction side, what it took, the millions of dollars that it took to build the Lincoln Park Family Aquatic Center, came from the hospital, Marion General Hospital lease money, which will be paid yearly through a loan that we made for the construction. Will be paid by the hospital money, which comes to us yearly, roughly in the neighborhood of a little over $200,000 a year. Year 1 of the Lincoln Park Family Aquatic Center, on the construction side, that loan payment was not needing to be made. So, let me get the number here again, $212,751.50 from the construction fund was put toward the operations fund. So, of the revenue that was made, $247,789.89, $212,751.50 will not be there next year because that money will have to go toward paying back the loan that it took to build the aquatic center. So when you take that $212,000 away from the $247,000 that they made last year, you end up with $35,038.38. That would be in profit. The numbers you have to watch, though, are on the expense side, the debt service note principal, which is $3,500,000, and on the revenue side is the bond proceeds, $3,862,000. Those numbers could change from year to year, but at this point, that's what happened. That's where we are with the Lincoln Park Family Aquatic Center as we have it. Those are the numbers. So deal with them as you may. If you think it was a success, it was a success. If you think it was a failure, then you think it was a failure, but make those decisions up on your own. But I do want to give you some information regarding the Aquatic Center from Year 1. Number of full days open, 77 from 12 to 8 p.m. Number of partial days open were 9. Number of members through the gate were 11,467. Number of patrons 13 and older were 17,850. And the number of patrons 12 and younger were 11,662. Now, that being said, here are some changes that will go into effect this year. Membership prices were increased 25%. Beginning in 2013, daily admission has been adjusted to $5 for ages 4 to 11 years old and $8 for ages 12 and up. These were necessary adjustments to cover the cost of staffing and other needs of operations, which we must cover to keep the doors open, and that's from Jeannie Brewer, head of the Aquatic Center. So, daily admission 4 to 11 years old will be $5, 12 years and older will be $8. Full concession stand will be open, therefore they do not allow outside food or beverages to be brought into the Aquatic Center. Members only evening will be May the 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. open to the public beginning May 25th, noon to 7 p.m. Aqua Zumba classes, Red Cross certified swim lessons, adult water walking and lap swim will be 7:30 to 11 a.m. during the week. Teen night, adult only night, rent our island for your birthday or company party. Also, after hours party packages are available. For information, contact 740-383-5804 or find them on the web, www.marionohio.us/aquatics. That's www.marionohio.us/aquatics. If you want to email them, it's aquatics@marionohio.org. So there is your Aquatic Center report. Next thing I want to talk about in very short order is the closing of Marion Catholic High School. I was very sad to learn of that. I know a lot of people involved in that, from Fran Vall, former principal, Alan Sider, current principal, the Concepcion family, most notably Anne, Martha Manesi, Marilyn McBride, who have their dance recitals there every year, Norma Jacob, good Catholic, Phil Reed, teacher there for several years. Just very sad to hear that. And I knew things were kind of rocky. I didn't expect this. And it's really a piece of Marion history going by the wayside, very unfortunately. I knew things were a little rocky. I remember when Festival on the Green went under, a great Marion tradition, about 5 or so years ago. I got a little shaky and I thought, what's going on? I remember when it was a big story that the football team was not going to be coming back because they had some great football teams at Marion Catholic, coached by Max Ross, another guy, former sheriff who I've had on the show many times. I love Max. I ought to call Max and see what he thinks about all this. The football team went under and kind of felt bad about that, and talked to Fran Vall on the radio when that happened, and Fran said it's a big problem, but hopefully we can get it back. About a year later, Fran retired, a little early for his age, but certainly he was entitled to retire, and I thought, uh-oh, maybe this is a problem. I know there have been a lot of priest changes over at Marion Catholic Church, and then this comes, the closing of Marion Catholic High School. I know that was a very tight community over there. Very sorry to hear that. I thought things were okay, but I knew things might have been a little rough, and I'm not going to say the name, but last year we did an event called Salute to Schools on the radio, and Marion Catholic was one of the schools we saluted that week. And I remember having two ladies come in, and I said, well, what's the state of Marion Catholic at this point? Because fundraising, Terry Clements, I also know very well. And I said, what's the state of Marion Catholic? And they said, everything's good, everything's fine. And I was kind of skeptical, and I remember Fran Vall and Alan Sider came on later in the week, and they both said things were a little shaky, and it hurt to lose football. Can't blame this all on that, but unfortunate. I'm sad, and I'm sad for all those people, and all the people who I didn't mention who will be losing that school. Bob Dowd was another great one who was involved with that. Father Fury, who's gone. I'm sorry, and I hope maybe someday something can be done. Big loss. Moving on, hopefully we can talk about that more in the future. Here we go, Buckeye Chuck, are you kidding me? Puxatony Phil is in big trouble. Can you believe this? Puxatony Phil did purposely and with prior calculation and design cause the people to believe that spring would come early. So somebody has filed a document in Pennsylvania asking for the death penalty for Puxatony Phil. Calling what he did an unclassified felony against the peace and dignity of the state of Ohio. Can you imagine? Puxatony Phil could be put to death, and will Buckeye Chuck be included in that lawsuit? Not as of yet. They can't find Buckeye Chuck. I don't know what's going. What's the world coming to when we're going to put the weatherman, Buckeye Chuck, and looks like Puxatony Phil to death? Holy mackerel. We're going to have to get some clarification on this. And all you weathermen, you better watch out, because you could be next. But we'll hope not. This has been Scott Spears, hopefully for a very informative edition of the Spears Report. Contact me via email, osukid2006@aol.com. Look for us on the net on Facebook, search Scott Spears Now. Go to YouTube, same thing, Scott Spears Now, 3 words. Take care until next time, Marion. Talk to you soon.